Good afternoon. Hello, CSE drivers. Can you hear me? How's my sound, man? What's going on? We have a message from the president coming up. Hello, Joseph Fields. How you doing? Kim Blanchard. Hello, ma'am. Good evening. We have an important message from the president. Hey there, Super Dave. 5x5. Thank you. Hello, Mike Smith. Hello, everyone. CSE. Appreciate it. Renee. How you doing? Didn't you win? You won from over here, didn't you? Yeah, you did. It's been a while, y'all, since I've been live. I know Super Dave gets busy too, y'all. We having a message from the president. In case you wasn't watching, let's share what the Mr. President has to say. What do you think this will be, y'all? I was told this should be a very important message. Yeah. Are they going to nuke Iran? Our banks. There's messages out there that there's trouble with Iran with the banks. Could take your money tonight. Yeah. Just letting y'all know. Yes, I did. I had my mug and coaster on my bento. Well, thank you, Renee. Miss Kim Blanchard. Everyone, let's get to the president momentarily. Let's do it, y'all, because this has, I believe now, something to do with the war. Thank you, Nez Lover. I think we all want to hear this. I think now we want to hear this. Something concerning this war. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. And a very special hello, Kentucky. I love Kentucky.
It's in your state, Mike Smith.
We won in a landslide. We won by so much. We have the all-time record in this state.
Hi, Kimberly
But it's great to be
Hollingsworth.
back in this beautiful Commonwealth with so many proud, hardworking, unbelievable American patriots.
Thank you.
And we're here today with the men and women of a phenomenal company that has been helping Kentucky grow and prosper for 6 incredible decades. In other words, they've been here for a long time. Verst Logistics.
First, Logistics.
Good company. Just met a lot of the people that run it. They're good people. They love you. They love you, actually. If they didn't, I wouldn't be here, probably. I don't think I'd be here. If they didn't love you, I'd walk off this stage right now. With your help, this family-owned business has risen from a small trucking operation into a juggernaut of warehousing, packaging, one of the biggest, transportation, all these
I wish
big
he would get
labels
to
they
the
put on.
point.
But I'll tell you, America's favorite brands right here, and this has been an unbelievable group of people that built this wonderful company, and I want to thank them very much. It's an honor. And like the people of Kentucky, you do it with skill and precision and pride, using equipment stamped with those beautiful words, made in the USA. Do you remember? Made in the USA. We're putting it all over the place. And we're making more and more things in the USA, more than we ever had. More people are working today in the USA than at any time in the history of our country. And by the way, do we have a great military? The best. Better than any military in the world by far. I didn't know that we're going to have to be showing it off so much, to be honest with you. I built it in my first term. We built this military, and I didn't know that we'd have to use it quite as much as we're using it, but we're using it well, and there's no better military. There's nobody even close, so we're very proud of it. So we have in this company 2,600 employees, and they pour out their sweat and their soul into shipping the products America knows and loves, and they're doing more business than they've ever done before. And thanks to the record-setting tax cuts that we passed in the great, big, beautiful bill, biggest tax cuts in the history of our country, tax cuts. You know, as I grew up, I'd watch politicians, and I'd always hear that, we're going to cut your taxes, cut your taxes. This is the first group of opponents. It's the
I'll
first group,
speak
the
a little bit
Democrats.
after all this.
They're always saying, we're going to raise your taxes. Historically, a politician has to. Ideally, you're going to follow through. But you have to say, we're cutting taxes. They say, we're going to raise that. They were going to give you, if they won, Kamala and Joe, Sleepy Joe. But they were going to raise your taxes more than any. It was the biggest tax increase in the history of our country. And I kept saying, are they really saying this? I don't know. What do I know about politics? I haven't been doing it that long. But they were going to give you the biggest tax cut. And now again, the midterms are coming. They want to raise your taxes higher than you've ever had before. We have to win. The midterms are going to be very, very important to keep it going. But thanks to the tax cuts, which are record-setting, we passed the great, big, beautiful bill. And I'm pleased to report that Verst Logistics is investing more than $10 million into expanding its operations this year, right here, $10 million. And you're buying brand new tractor trailers and opening up warehouses in 2 additional states, Texas and North Carolina. And that's what it's all about. And that's why we did it. And with the help of our tax cuts, all of those trucks and warehouses and equipment purchases, everything that we're doing, and everything that you see in this country that's being built, you get what's called expensing, meaning a deduction in the first year. 1 year, it's the bit. Now, to a lot of people, that doesn't mean. To me, it means something else. It means jobs. That's why we have so many jobs, the best jobs ever. Perhaps most importantly to the workers here today, I'm pleased to report that the great, big, beautiful bill also delivers no tax on overtime. Whoever thought that was going to happen?
This is old news.
That means every extra hour you work, your overtime pay is now 100% tax-free. You have no tax. Remember that when you go and vote, because the Democrats want to end it. So you take home 20 or 30% more to those beautiful children or whoever the hell you're bringing it home to. Okay, I don't know who you're bringing it home to. I don't want to know. That's not my business, although it could be interesting. After so many years of politicians who sold out the working men and women of our
Raising
country,
my boys.
we finally
Thank
have
you.
a president who puts American workers first.
Dr.
With us
Evans.
today are the front row Joes. You know, they have followed me. What are you up to? About 350 rallies, right? 350 rallies. I don't know what the hell they do. I don't know where they get their money, but they follow me a lot. We have a lot of people. They just like a tour, but they're front row Joes. They're like professionals at getting on the front row. Thank you. And there's a lot of them too. Thank you very much. Great honor. So a short time ago, under a man named Sleepy Joe Biden, has anyone heard of him? Has anyone heard of him? How about Barack Hussein Obama? He went to Jesse Jackson's funeral. He spoke, and it was like a political hit job. And the family of Jesse Jackson got angry as hell at him because they understand they hated each other. You know, he was there. But I loved watching that. That was so. The family goes outside and they start screaming at him. A short time ago, under Biden and his allies in Congress, we were dead as a doornail. We were a dead country, I'll tell you, and it looked like we weren't going to come back. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. This is
Hello, Miss Kay.
anywhere in the world. Most powerful military. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election, all time. And the typical American's 401k is up by almost $35,000 since I took office. And in 4 years, Joe Biden got less than $1 trillion of new investment into the United States. So think of this. $1 trillion over a period of much less, over a period of 4 years. We got $18 trillion. And Jake Paul knows what that means. $18 trillion in 11 months, because they haven't calculated the 12 months. So we have 18 trillion in 11 months. Say in a year, what difference does it make compared to substantially less than 1 trillion in 4 years? You would say they didn't do a good job, Jake. I didn't ask Jake who he voted for, but I don't think it was Kamala. I don't think so. I think your whole reputation would be shot if you said, "Oh, I voted for Kamala." That would be the end of your whole career, Jake.
Thank you all for
But
coming.
here in the heartland of America, you're already seeing the results of what we've done. I just came from Thermo Fisher Scientific in Reading, Ohio, right across the way. The great American company that's investing $2 billion in domestic manufacturing, all because of what we've done with the tariffs and with the deductions and all of the other things that we've done. Ford Motor Company, and by the way, we have more jobs in terms of construction. We're building more factories now in this country than at any time in the history of our country. More factories are being built. And Ford Motor Company, a good old staple, has announced a $2 billion assembly plant in Louisville, Kentucky, which will support more than 2,200 Kentucky jobs. And I was with Ford the other day. I was in Detroit, and Bill Ford, the head of it, he had an advantage over everybody else in getting the job, but that's okay. He was born Ford, but he was showing me a plant that was built in like 1914, very old, one of the biggest plants in the country, but one of the oldest.
But are these electric vehicles that I saw a lot of Ford vehicles on the road. Price of gas is extremely high. It's getting up there. Hello, everyone. Leslie Bosler. Good afternoon. B. Rad Ots. Hello. I thought this was an important announcement. It should be. I was looking on Twitter a while ago. They said there was an important announcement expected. So I'm going to kind of wait this out and find out. Hello, Alvar Billy. Good afternoon, Miss Blanche. Leslie Bosler. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. Under the impression of an important announcement, y'all. I think maybe something to do with the Iran war. I'm going to play it on out and find out.
And they were getting ready to shut it down a year and a half ago. And then he heard Trump was running and he sort of said, let's wait. So they were getting ready to shut it down. It was on minimal time. It was just a question of time, but he said, let's wait. And he waited. And they just announced 2 weeks ago that they're now going to run 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, building the Ford 150. Big difference. It's a big difference. That's a big difference. You shut it down or you run 24 hours a day. And they're doing a good job. Apple, great company, $2.5 billion to manufacture 100% of the glass for iPhones and Apple Watches right here in Kentucky factories, all being made. And Apple's spending $650 billion on new plants all over the United States. Think of that. Who the hell else could have done this? Nobody else. Nobody else. I say it kiddingly, but I'm actually not kidding. Nobody else. He's done a good job, Tim Cook. But $650 billion. Think of it. And just 2 days ago, GE Aerospace, they're doing phenomenally, announced a $1 billion investment in American manufacturing, including $115 million right across the river in the Queen City, Cincinnati. I love Cincinnati. So jobs, factories, and new investments are pouring in as they do. We have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a short period of time, including 8,000 brand new construction jobs in Kentucky. Okay? Kentucky. I love the way a real Kentuckian pronounces it, but if I do it, but I love Kentucky. More Americans are working today than any time in history, and that number is going to be, wait till you see the numbers by the end of the year. We did an excursion. You know what an excursion is? We had to take a little trip to get rid of some evil, very evil people. It should have been done for 47 years. They've been killing our people. 47 years. 47 years. And I can only say this. They were all prepared. They're very strong. You know, they're going to try and take over the whole Middle East. They were going to knock out Israel. They don't know what the hell hit them, right? They don't know what hit them. They got hit by the American military. They don't know. They say, what the hell is happening? They didn't expect anything like this. To bring down energy costs for American workers and families and businesses like this one, we ended the Green New scam. You know the scam? Greatest scam in American history. Well, maybe the election results of the second election were. I would say what was the greater scam? The Green New scam or the 2020 rigged election? I would say the 2020. I think the election. I think the election, but what difference? But the main thing is, we said, get out and vote. We're going to do it again. And we're going to make it too big to rig. And that's what we did. We got the highest vote in history. We didn't need that big. We made it too big to rig. We terminated the insane electric vehicle mandate where you were mandated. And I like electric cars. I think they're great. I like Elon. Electric cars. I think they're great. I like Elon. Not everybody wants an electric car. And I like them. It's a great product, everything, but they have to have. It's a great product, everything. We ended the mandate. Now you can have gasoline. You can have hybrid. Now you can have whatever you want. You can have electric, whatever. They wanted you to buy an electric car. They wanted you by 2030. Car. The only one problem, you can't charge it. You ever see a charger? You can't charge it. You ever see a charger? You drive it down and they say electric charging plant, 150 miles up the road. That's a bad feeling. That's a bad feeling. And we massively increased production of American oil, natural gas, and American clean, beautiful Kentucky coal. Kentucky coal. And we're not allowed in the Trump administration. We're not allowed to use the.
I'm going to pause this and wait for the end of it and stop sharing and go through a few things. Good afternoon, everyone. I know we can't hardly. The sound of that voice. Look, I thought he was a good man way back, y'all. More than 10 years ago, of course. Hello, Daryl Calhoun, Wisconsin farm boy. Mr. Super Sidewinder. Daryl Calhoun, how y'all doing? Nez Lover. Everyone, thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate y'all. Based on some news that I was watching earlier over here on the Twitters. Yeah. World War III, nuclear strikes. All this kind of stuff, y'all. And the indicators coming out of Western Iranian. Are they talking about tonight? Here we go again. I can prove it. Striking the banks. Let's see what this little video has to say here. And I know a lot of people don't think nuclear is one of these things that really happened. Let's play a short little video.
Could we be witnessing the first nuclear strike in modern history? I need you to listen carefully to what I'm about to say, because the indicators coming out of Western, Iranian, and Arab media in the past 24 hours, when you connect them, they all point to one terrifying possibility. Something massive is coming, and we need to understand what it is. Let me walk you through this step by step. First, the mystery that's been puzzling observers. Why have Israeli warning systems been failing? Why are Iranian missiles getting through the Iron Dome and hitting deep inside Tel Aviv? Here's what we now know. Iran, with Russian intelligence support, Chinese satellite guidance through the Beidou network, and advanced targeting systems, has accomplished something critical, something Washington and Jerusalem never anticipated. They've destroyed a significant portion of the early warning radars for THAAD and Patriot systems across the Gulf. These were the eyes that detected Iranian launches and warned Israel before interception. Now those eyes are gone. Israel is effectively blind, and the Israeli military can't send warnings to civilians. Combine this with the heavy media blackout on damage inside Israel, and statements from British and Australian politicians about legal penalties for filming destruction in Tel Aviv, and you realize the situation is far worse than officially acknowledged. Second, the Revolutionary Guard has announced striking over two.
Here in this live stream, I have not established that the news media is lying to us. And I'm sure everybody here knows that we constantly are being lied to. The bases that were hit in these different countries over there, you know, Dubai and all these spread out countries that Iran, we were told there were 8 U.S. military personnel killed. And, well, there are people that have people in the military. And they're saying it's like 580, even up to 1,000. And I saw one figure say 1,200. So I haven't established that in my last live stream or this live stream, but I'm sure everyone is aware that the media is lying to us. So yeah, I'll keep playing this and I'll go to something else. Thank y'all.
over 200 strategic targets and American bases. Reports suggest America is now relying more on Asian bases and aircraft carriers. What does this logically mean? The American presence in the region has taken a hit far larger than media reports admit. This is a catastrophe for Trump, who still hasn't figured out how to sell this to the American public, already deeply opposed to this war. Third, because of these unacknowledged losses and severe ammunition shortages, America and Israel have shifted to targeting Iran's critical infrastructure. Yesterday they destroyed a desalination plant on Keshem Island, over 30 Iranian oil facilities, caused environmental disaster and acid rain over Tehran. Iran responded by hitting the Bazan refinery in Haifa.
All these oil refineries being hit. Yeah, there was one hit in Iran, right? And it rained down acid rain, as black rain, y'all. These people like, y'all are going to pay for this. And they're blocking the Strait of Hormuz with these mines on these little boats and things. So yeah, it's being blocked, y'all. According to what we're being told and information that's been put out there, I'm kind of repeating some of the stuff I see.
Infrastructure targets across occupied territories, with devastating cluster munitions. Fourth, who suffers most from all this? The Gulf states. Because every strike happens over their territory, every American base they allowed for protection now threatens them. Senator Lindsey Graham, close to Trump, just demanded Gulf states intervene directly against Iran, said America won't defend them alone. This is exactly what Trump and Netanyahu want. It's why Mossad and CIA have conducted dozens of false flag operations, hitting Gulf facilities and blaming Iran, to drag Arabs into destroying each other, clearing the way for Israel's greater project. Fifth, and this is where it gets truly disturbing, American generals are telling officers this is a religious war, Armageddon, that they're accelerating Christ's return. This isn't rhetoric. Over 110 complaints have been filed by officers refusing to fight for religious objectives. I'll source this in comments. Sixth, Gulf states are waking.
In case y'all wasn't aware, yeah, these leaflets are, let's say, the military was telling our troops that this war is Jesus war, like, I don't know the exact word, so I won't try to repeat it. I need to find that information, that they were fighting for Armageddon.
Waking up, Qatar officially announced it won't join any war against Iran. Saudi Arabia maintains restraint. UAE businessman Khalaf al-Habtoor has been posting direct condemnations of American intervention, saying Gulf states reject wars that don't serve their interests, and that American bases meant for protection now threaten their security. He said it clearly, "We don't need your protection. Just keep your ears away from us." A man in his position doesn't say this alone. So where are we? Iran is resilient, delivering devastating blows to Tel Aviv, which by some accounts now resembles Gaza internally, and causing unacknowledged heavy losses to America. If this continues, it destroys Trump's popularity, isolates him, and guarantees prosecution under Epstein cases. It destroys Netanyahu's political future. They need an unconventional solution, and there are only two options. Option 1, troop insertion. 2, seize Iranian nuclear sites and extract enriched uranium. Nearly impossible. Option 2, non-conventional weapons, tactical nuclear bombs. These aren't like strategic nuclear weapons with wide effects, they're limited to specific areas. And this possibility is increasing, especially with rhetoric and American media preparing for such a historic event. Some prominent American media figures have stated Trump wants to be the president who dropped a nuclear bomb, given his personality, his love of spectacle, his need to attach his name to unprecedented historical events. This isn't far-fetched, this is shadow archives. We don't do fear-mongering, we do pattern recognition, we connect what others won't. If you've followed this far, you understand what's at stake. Share this, follow for updates, because the next 48 hours could redefine everything. Shadow archives, the full picture.
Felix the Cat, welcome in and thank you for coming. Do y'all feel like this war is going to escalate into America? cyber attacks, nuclear attack, bombs in America, drones. Let me play this for you right here. Let me show you this. I had something. I think I took it down because it kept buffering. That on the California coast, they're watching. It's being threatened that drone attacks could happen like imminently or anytime. Yeah, I took it down because it was buffering. It wouldn't come all the way in. But this is earlier. Let me see if I'm sharing this. I am. Happening now, Trump just threatened to take Iran out with a nuclear bomb. We could take out Iran this afternoon. We could take them out in an hour, and they'd never be able to build their country back. Yeah, the banks.
They've lost their Navy, they've lost their Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft apparatus.
I won't play no more of that because much of you can't stand to hear him talk or whatever. I know y'all, I've been busy the last couple of weeks when it came to this. You're right, Mike Smith. You can't force God's hand no matter what they do. They can't do that. Miss Julie Wheeler, hello and welcome. I don't mean to anonymous out, Miss Blanche. I watch a lot of videos too. Anonymous. Who's anonymous? Later, Daryl. You leaving, Daryl? I know it's hard. It's hard to swallow all this. Gotta go. Bye-bye, y'all. It's very possible, Super Dave. Hello, Soul 7 Music. Hello, welcome. This war, it's insane. The president, Miss Blanche, says he's insane. A lot of people saying this man is insane, y'all. A lot of people saying that. Is Israel driving this so-called war? A lot of people think it's a war for Israel, right? I wouldn't put it past the government to do something. I believe, my opinion, y'all know where I go with all this. Hello, B-Rats. Goodbye. It's all good, but I appreciate y'all coming in. Yeah, you know where I'm going, like depopulation, New World Order, you know, the financial money. You got to collapse everything and destroy everything. What I've said that a million times on my channel. Let's go somewhere else with some of this information, because I don't like to just talk and not present something. Yeah. This post here breaking just now. Iran has struck Israel's Tel Aviv airport with a hypersonic missile. The target is spot on. You can see it in this footage. Just what they put out here on Twitter.
Please.
I don't have much stuff, but Iranian hacker group, Handala, retaliation, targeting your cell phone, wiping all data. I don't know if anybody's cell phone has been affected. I know I got my bank app on my phone. I mean, I don't have a lot of money in the bank, but I got a little bit of enough to pay my light bill, whatever, y'all. But I mean, I don't see how anyone can be a MAGA. Hello, back from Oz. Dave, I think it's happening is what's been saying is coming for 8 years. Is here. Trump is a maniac. is he a maniac or is he just following the orders from the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and Israel? You know, big money, depopulation, mess up the world's economies. Gas is on the rise, $3.50 a gallon here in South Carolina. South Carolina is normally the cheapest gas in the nation because we're right here on the coast. You know, Charleston, ports and everything, oil comes in from there too, you know. Yeah, are the U.S. banks next? And I heard the other day, two banks, Bank of America and Wells Fargo, is having problems. Money was missing or something like that. I can't say for sure because I don't know, but I am worried about a cyber attack, your 401k. I mean, I need my money to pay my light bill, y'all. What do I do with it? What do I do with it? You know, for real.
Group based out of Iran that is wiping people's personal cell phones. And I know because it just happened to my husband. He woke up this morning to his phone factory reset, no phone number attached, everything wiped. But the implications of this are so much bigger, especially when you start to think about your bank. Before I explain the bank risk, this is the group that claimed credit this morning, taking down a major medical device corporation and all of its tens of thousands of employees' personal devices, wiping everything and getting all of their information. Obviously, we're still freaking out because his phone's cooked. They have access to all of our information and God knows what else. But on top of that, it immediately made me think, what happens when they target U.S. banks next?
Let me ask you this. Since 2020, all this conspiracy, 37 of them, right? They've all turned out to be right. Can't we ask ourselves, maybe we didn't know it was coming in a Iran war type of way? But the WEF, I mean, you'll own nothing, you'll be happy. The Georgia Guidestones, all these things just been telling us. Like, did we know it was coming? Think about it, y'all.
All of the bank accounts go to zero, or you're frozen out, or they go after digital payments and everything shuts down, or they could go after the electrical grid. We know how devastating that would be. And the infrastructure here in the United States is so old, it would be easy to do. They're living through a new type of warfare, and most people here have no idea and are not even close to being. Now, there's really nothing we could have done to have stopped what just happened this morning, but I think this is just the start. Not only are personal devices at risk, but institutions and infrastructure. My advice to everyone is to make sure you have cash, silver, and gold, because if all of your wealth is tied up in the system that's vulnerable to their attacks, you're leaving yourself, your family, and future generations vulnerable too. We don't know what's coming next, but all we can do is be prepared. Stay safe out there, everyone.
I mean, it has nothing to do with fear porn. Nothing about fear porn. Only truth. And people's like, you know, what is going on? If you don't know what's going on by now, you better go back to 2020 and start studying up on it, because all these years now, we saw it coming. Can you at least say you saw it coming? Even if America gets attacked, we talked about New York, Chicago, LA, Atlanta, San Francisco, all these big cities, the financial markets, everything, y'all. Are we ready? I mean, we wake up tomorrow morning and smoke is billowing over America and there is no power. Are you prepared to at least try to live out a little bit longer? No fear porn, y'all. Nothing to do with that. Do you have a gas mask? Anything. I mean, you could wake up, chemicals be everywhere in the air. I have 2 gas masks, to be fair and honest. You can go right there on eBay or whatever, y'all, and order them, you know. Just saying. who knows where this thing is going next? What else do I have? Let's play a little bit more. I want to catch up at the end of Trump's speech and figure out what he had to say too. Breaking: Iran says it will target all American banks tonight. Did you know that? This is March 11th, 2026. This afternoon around 1 o'clock, 12:58 p.m. Breaking: Iran says it will target all American banks tonight. I don't know how true that is. Just putting it out there. If it's a post, I don't take responsibility for it. I'm just sharing what I see here on the internet. No, I didn't get my light bill money out of the bank so I could pay my light bill. My light bill is $360. And normally it's like $200. This is all of us. I know it's not just me, y'all. The price of gasoline and diesel fuel, the price of this diesel fuel is going to hit these commercial trucks. I learned way back, I don't know when it was 2017, 18, something like that, when the price of gas hit $4. $4 is the breaking point for America. Back then, just saying, over $4 a gallon, America is going to start losing it, y'all. Just in case you don't understand and know that, it has begun. The financial reset is advancing with or without you. Well, see, this is all the plan. Even if Iran hits the banks tonight or anytime this week or next week or whenever, it's all in the plan because they're telling us, and they've been telling us the whole time.
Right now, the war is shaking the entire global financial system like never before. Markets are down. Crypto is falling hard. It's tough and everybody sees it, but it won't last forever. The markets will come back and they'll come back stronger. Here's the point. In moments like this, people look for stability. And in this case, the QFS system is the safest, most secure, gold-backed system across the world. So my message is simple. Move your money out of the old banks and get into a QFS system. The process is easy. Get your QFS card, scan it, activate your account. That's it. No inflation, no taxes, a gold-backed foundation, exactly the way it should have always been. Right now, the war is shaking the entire globe.
I remember seeing and putting on here that Beam Crypto, that it has something to do with these wars. Beam Crypto, that the government was going to, I need to check into it again, that it would, soar. I don't know. I need to check it and see if it's went up since the war, that the government was going to put all this billions of dollars into a Beam Crypto if the war starts. Let's see what this is. Tel Aviv is messed up, but the best part of all is that Iran has put some demands on the table to stop the fire. What are they? That the United States withdraw all the troops from the Persian Gulf and the Middle East, that it pay an amenity of $500,000 million. How much is that? $500,000 million. What is that, like 5 trillion? That it lift all sanctions. If the requests are not met within a period of 30 days, the Iranians will launch more powerful bombs and perhaps use nuclear bombs against Israel. They could completely close the Strait of Hormuz. By the way, China and Russia do back them. Yeah, that's something I said and predicted before the war even started, that China and Russia are on Iranian side. This is Tel Aviv, they saying, Israel. The capital of Israel, Tel Aviv. What happened to their dome? Shooting down all the missiles and things that come in. What happened to that? They relied on that. They thought that would actually protect them. Yeah, that's what the Golden Dome is. I don't know if people will realize that or not. The Golden Dome is a barrier around inside the United States that would be like the dome in Israel shooting down missiles or whatever's coming into America. But Tel Aviv, according to this video and a lot of videos out there, is messed up. I don't think it's playing. Let me go back and make sure I'm sharing this. Yeah, I'm playing the video, but it's not sharing. Let's share the screen. Let's do that at least one more good time. Yeah. According to a lot of videos and things out there, I just wonder how fake, how real all this really is. I mean, Super Dave's over here wondering about this stuff. Like, I know the misinformation and the media and the lies and things like that, but is the destruction real? Are these models? Is this AI for real, y'all? It looks real, don't it?
הלך נחת אצלנו פה, תראה מה עשו לנו, כל הבית הלך הבית.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. Let me see if I can catch the very end of this president's speech. So yeah, hold on one second before I end the live stream. It's hard to watch. I get it, y'all.
And my administration, as you know better than anybody, is also working to keep the oil flowing. It's flowing all over. We knocked out, they want to drop some mines, very friendly people, mines, so boats blow up. And we knocked out every hour I have to change because they knock them out so fast. I've never seen anything. Think of it. They knocked out 54 ships in 2 days, and they're real ships. In fact, I got angry at my people. I said, are they any good? Yeah, they're warships. I said, why the hell did we kill them? Why didn't we just capture them and use them in our Navy? They said they wouldn't have qualified for that. But I got a little upset with my people. I said, why do we have to knock them? And actually, one of my generals said, sir, it's a lot more fun doing it this way. Bluetooth pairing. But we knocked out 58 naval ships. We knocked out their Navy, okay? Let's put it that way. But they also knocked out the mine layers. They call them mine layers. They put mines in the water. Lovely job. Isn't that nice? Blow up ships. And we knocked out 31 of them. And I was very proud of myself. I said, why didn't you use the weapon that we use on the drugs that come in by sea? Do you know that drugs by sea are down 98%? And I said, that's a hell of a weapon. And they said, well, give it a shot. It worked very well. We've knocked out, I think, 28 or 29, all of them, almost all of them. They'll all be gone. By the time I'm finished speaking, they'll be gone. These people work very fast. But I'm pleased to report that earlier today, the International Energy Agency agreed to coordinate the release of a record 400 million barrels of oil from various national petroleum reserves around the world, which will substantially reduce the oil prices as we end this threat to America and this threat to the world. We don't want to leave early, do we? We got to finish the job, right? Over the past 11 days, our military has virtually destroyed Iran. Tough country. Their air force is gone, totally gone. That took the better part of about 3 hours. They no longer have radar. They don't have anti-aircraft equipment. They don't have anything. Their missiles are down 90%. Their drones are down 85%. We're blowing up the factories where they're made left and right.
I believe that we're being lied to, that their missiles are being depleted in Iran. Hello, Sheikah. Good to see you, ma'am. Thank you for coming in. Curious Georgia. Been a while, y'all. Not too long. From my understanding, Iran has stockpiles of missiles, supersonic missiles coming from Russia, and China's going to back them also. I don't know how much more of this I can stand, but I understood this to be an important message from our president. I don't know, y'all, how important you consider all this to be. If we get hit, cyber attacks, you name it. It's right here on YouTube. Y'all might want to check out the last of his speech. All he is doing is whatever you want. It looks like he's bragging on something, Make America great. While we're all kind of tensed up and worried, like, what is the next hit? Where is it coming from? What's going to really happen? How much is gas going to be? And not only that, y'all, it's diesel fuel. It's the whole commodity section, of fuel. Commercial vehicles. I worry, y'all. We're already dealing with high prices and everything, even now compared to 5 years ago. And I know a lot of people live on a budget and everything. It's kind of hard to keep up, with the energy and the inflation. When they're lying to us about it, inflation is 2%, they stop the numbers, let's say, and start afresh when the new administration comes in. So on top of the inflation that we already had, and they start at zero with the inflation, that's why they can say we're at 2% inflation. You know what I'm saying? The jobs. Where are the jobs that he keeps talking about? Where are they, y'all? Is anybody here gotten a new job, better paying? I sure haven't. I look around, I see the jobs, and I don't see an increase of jobs anywhere. If he's talking about data center jobs, well, that all we're doing would be building something against us, our own demise, let's say. Did somebody else come in? Curious Georgia. I just get to talking, y'all. Good to see y'all again. We've been live streaming 54 minutes. Everybody here has been doing their homework. You know what I'm saying, y'all. You know exactly what I'm saying. Let me look around real quick and make sure. Rebecca Lynn, good to see you. Thank you. Make sure I don't miss anything. Maybe something I could read real quick. And if you look around in different platforms, let's say, not only YouTube has plenty of it, of information that, like, you would think was just fear porn or is just the truth. We stand on the brink of a global war. 8 countries continue to modernize their nuclear arsenals. The United States, Russia, the United Kingdom, France, China, India, Pakistan, and North Korea. In case y'all don't know, North Korea has vowed to get in this war and stand against America. How many countries do we need? against us in a war. Yeah, that's why it's going to be a world war, right? The U.S. base in Kuwait is being evacuated. In today's footage, it is clear that U.S. forces are leaving Kuwaiti soil. This shows that Iran has succeeded in achieving its goal. I say end the war. If they have destroyed 90% of Iran, end the war. That's what I say. Just my opinion. Khomeini is out of there. They replaced him, whatever. It's going to take time to rebuild. If 90%, how many people have they killed? You know, concerning information, y'all, things that we should be told the truth about. And as we all know, and I'll repeat it again, we're being lied to when it comes to numbers. Shockwave in the Middle East, Russia launches ballistic missile attack on Israel. It's just information is out there. If you look for it, members of the U.S. Armed Forces refused to fly planes loaded with weapons to Israel. And a lot of people saying, if you have children and grandchildren, they will not send them. They will stand against this. A lot of people are saying that. And a draft is very concerning. A draft is very concerning. Do you want your son and daughters in this war? Just asking questions. That's all I'm doing. I'm not saying if you should or shouldn't. I know America has a great military. I would never put our military down. And people that believe they're doing the right thing, I know that. There's people out there that served our country, veterans. All of them believe they've done the right thing. And there's one other concerning thing I'll speak about. I don't have information on that. A jihad, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, a jihad against America. These sleeper cells, you know, we have to watch and be concerned about these things, y'all. Iran just warned not a single liter of oil will reach the U.S. Israel are their allies. Prepare for $200 per barrel. Meanwhile, Trump says he will force open the Strait of Hormuz. $200. That would at least mean what? $10, $12 a gallon for gas, right? We can't sustain that. When I went live right before February 28th and telling y'all about this other channel that says that we're going to attack Iran February 28th, they were right. But they wasn't right about him getting shot in the right eye on March the 3rd. And I kind of believed it. So 50% is good. I consider that good. 1 out of 2 is pretty good, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll come back a little bit more, y'all. I had somebody ask me earlier, Super Dave, when are you going to live stream again? If you're still here, Miss K, thank you for asking. I appreciate the thumbs up, everybody. I was like, well, I'm glad somebody asked. And as you know, Trump, he's kind of getting booed in these sports arenas and things, you know. Not everybody's happy with the job he's doing. A lot of people say he's a maniac, y'all. I get it. But is he a maniac or is he just driving the New World Order? You know? All right, y'all. Yeah, one other thing here. The price of gas is a scam. America buys zero oil from Iran. The gas in your tank right now was bought weeks ago at an old price. Exactly. The gas in your gas station is like down in the gas station. And these big tanks was paid for a week or two ago when the price was under $3 a gallon. So, yeah. And now they're charging higher, over $3 a gallon because of the events in Iran, which I wouldn't call it completely a scam, because if there's the oil is being bombed and there's more of a oil coming in, let's say somewhat of a shortage, that's what's driving the price. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure all that out, y'all. But they did 2 weeks ago or whatever pay a less amount for the gas that's in their tank. But they have to kind of do that if there's a shortage coming. You know, they have to have a profit, let's say, for the shortage that's coming and the higher price that they're going to pay. We all know it from the top to the bottom. That's the way it normally works. You know, that's the way I always like. A good economy works from the top up down to me at the bottom. I can't work for a poor man, you know. A poor man don't have enough money to pay me. So in other words, it's got to be somebody with enough money or a company that can pay me, you know, with enough money. I can't work for a poor man, y'all, because he's not going to pay me right. You know what I'm saying? I've been there and done that when I was younger. I was like, man, I'm going to stand against you and I'm going to quit you because you owe me more than you paid me, you know? And I'll go somewhere else. And I had a family to worry about, y'all. For real. Some people saying there's a EBS coming, emergency broadcast signal coming. I don't know. National Emergency Broadcast Update. The emergency broadcast system activation is imminent. Just saying, I see stuff like this over here on Twitter and different platforms, y'all. But I appreciate, I mean, I really didn't have the good a time I wanted to have today. But we need to put information and share information and keep everybody on, let's say, high alert. Because you are concerned of your country and your state and your family and your children and your military and the people. If all our military went out and got killed, let's say, you got to be concerned, y'all. Who's going to help protect us, you know? The day might come. You might have to draw your pew pew out and start protecting yourself, you know? Take a lot of this very serious. The game is over. Now we're moving into a different time, y'all. But anyway, I'll let y'all go. I've had a good time, y'all. I run everybody out of here. I hope I didn't lose no subscribers. Let's check. Like Super Dave, we don't believe like you. I did lose one. It's all good, y'all. For real, I lost one subscriber, y'all. I don't know what his message is, y'all. Let me go to the end here. Maybe there's something I'm missing.
hard time. But Massey wants to vote no, but on this one, he may be forced. I mean, how can you do it? So I just want to say this. Thomas Massey is a disaster for our party. He comes from a state that I won by a landslide, got the highest vote in the history of your Commonwealth, the highest vote. I got the highest vote. That means the people like me and I love them. I love them. I love them more than they love me, but I still got the highest. Remember with your mother?
I guess we'll see it in the news or somewhere of what he said. I'll have to change the title to this, Miss Blanche. Subscribers for life. Well, thank you, Miss Blanche. And Laura K, thank you all. Hopperson, thank you. Hello, how are you doing? Good to see you, Hopperson. I will rewatch Super Dave. Don't worry about it. All I did was show Trump in the first 15 minutes. You're welcome, Wisconsin Farm Boy. I appreciate y'all. Suspicious Skies, thank you. I might play a little music on the way out, y'all, because I like music. Please hit that thumbs up, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one. Yeah, I will. Hello, Max. Better play some music and have a good time while you can. Great song, y'all. Thank y'all. Got me a new hat, y'all. For real. I gotta play music. Peace, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I appreciate it, y'all. I've had a good time. I shared information out there. Protect your money in the bank, y'all. They take my money, I can't pay my light bill, y'all. Just because we're being threatened don't mean it's going to happen, you know? They might just want to freak everybody out. Pick up the pieces and go home. Oh, yeah. Oh. All right.